This house was done probably about 10 years ago, and haven't been back since. Gas furnace not working. Let's see what we can do. I remember this nice wraparound porch on this house. Haven't been here in maybe more than 10 years, maybe at least 10 or 11 years. So, let's see. Yeah, there's our flue pipe. Looks like one I would have cut off and done like that. And there's our comfort takers. Looks like one of the labels about to fall off. Those were pretty good machines. They served us pretty well. Let's take a look at the gas furnace. So their initial call was we're getting a noise out of it that we didn't used to get. So we scheduled it for a couple days away. Then he called back shortly thereafter and said it's not working at all. Then when we got here, he said it's back on. It looks like one of those C9 MVX furnaces. They were pretty good, big old heavy workhorse. Let's get over there and look at it. Okay, so I can hear what he's talking about. I'm sure you can hear it too. The induced draft motor's got a little scream to it. So it's probably going to need to be replaced. Yep, she is raising sand. And it was a lot quieter before I took that door off. Definitely going to need this assembly. Boy, that's loud. And I think the model and serial on these is actually in the bottom door. Yep, so we're going to have to open it, which is probably going to kill the power. Boy, that thing has had it. All right, she's winding down. Now look in there. I tell you, I've seen a lot of things. But I have not seen where some kid stuck a ball, or is that a balloon? Some kind of ball. Came down that bigger return pipe there, I'm gonna guess. Now that's something different I haven't seen. Well, as I've said before, we see a little bit of everything out here in HVAC land. And that's definitely something different. But we need an induced draft assembly, that's for sure. But this one has apparently drained right all of its life and everything. I don't see it full of water, and the pump and everything's worked okay. So it's had a pretty good life for 10 years. I'm gonna have to pull the blower out to get that ball out of there. Boy, that's something else. Or poke it and flatten it one. I guess I can take that piece of flex off there pretty easy. That's probably the easiest thing to do. Well, I tell you what, this homeowner is not going to be real happy with everything we just found out. So, we installed this, or at least registered this, 10 years ago from 7 days ago, or let's see, okay, October 29th, about 6-7 days ago. It ran out on October the 29th, that's last month. And I think today is November the 4th, or right around in there. I tell you what, man. So I called Baker and found all that out. And they've got the induced draft motor in stock. So I'm gonna go up there and pick it up. I'm gonna try to let this thing run while I'm gone. But boy, ain't that something else. I mean, he's gonna really think these things are designed specifically to last just during the warranty. That is something else. Let's go get it. All right, we've got the new one here. It came with the water separator and everything, the new gasket. So that gasket's probably all we'll have to use. But let's get this thing out of here. See if we can get these people some heat. this thing's still hot. And a little bit stiff. Yeah, that gasket looks really good. I don't see any point in disturbing that. I don't usually think it's a good idea to use a drill on clamps, but if you're really careful and don't let the drill over tighten it, then it's okay. I have flipped this thing around a couple of times unnecessarily. See the mark on the pipe where it was before, so you know it's in there far enough. Okay. Tell you what, I did like these old furnaces. I liked everything about them. As you can see, it stayed clean and dry. The water management worked properly. Everything was good in this furnace, except that motor quit. Okay. Don't see anything out of place here. Looks like everything is where it goes. All right, let's test fire it one time. Looks like everything's okay. I heard a drop or two of water in there that I must have pounded out of that flue pipe. Here comes our igniter. So I think we're probably going to be okay. There's one more thing we got to do. Got to get that out of there. Easter egg or whatever it is. So let's go over here and unhook this return flex where that, right down where it came through. Uh-oh, it looks like I sat on the edge of that door, didn't I? I'm gonna have to fix that. That'll suck air in. Tell you what, I ought to not have done that. Remember my old painting body days. tighten this up in there. Flatten it out better. I went a little too far the other way, but that's okay. We're okay. All right, let's move around here to the return side. Somebody's already had this thing off once, because this zip tie, or drawband as we used to call them, was way back in the back where it wasn't doing anything. Some kind of Easter egg. Not a ball. We will return that to the young'uns. So, I'll show you what I do to connect a piece of flex duct. It is probably dirty. The tape isn't really going to stick that great. I get tape all the way around it. I had a helper with me over on the other side. And then I go behind the metal bands, the little wire, stick a screw in it through the tape into the collar, but behind the wire, and it can't pull off. This is a return anyway, so it's not real likely to pull off. And then I'm going to put one on wherever the most likely stress point is, and on this one it's on the top right here. I'm going to kind of triple that up to make it thick. And then I'm going to drive a screw through the whole thing. Through all of it. And that can't come off. If it was all new and clean materials, I might do that a little different way. But to put that old dirty flex back on that old dirty collar, that's the way I'm going to do it. And I'm going to leave it just like that. All right. So let's flip our switch back on. And listen to it run for a minute before we leave it. Another one of them little flowers off the Easter egg. Get the light off. I think we're back where we were. So let's go in the house and check the output, make sure everything's okay. Okay, I put my tools up. Got my temperature probe. So I'm gonna go in the house and return the Easter egg. Make sure everything's okay. I mean, it got in there some. Let's look in here. It got in there somehow.
I'm impressed you can do that with your fingers.
Well, I've got a little screwdriver in my pocket here.
335.
Yeah.
Here, let me get you a butter knife.
It takes a bigger screwdriver than what I've got.
Here you go.
That's what y'all use, huh?
And that's what I use. Watch
Well,
your knee.
that's okay. Let it go. Well, the pipe is covered. Now, that piece that it's covered with might be a little bit restrictive, but I think what happened is that
It might have been sitting on that little shelf.
that thing went down there before you had that screen on it.
Yeah, I put that on before we even started using that for storage, just to keep stuff up. So
I don't know. One of them young'uns got in there and
Yeah, this one's good.
Yeah, I'm surprised. No, why won't it? There we go.
had them a good time dropping it down in the hole there, and they probably laughed when
Probably
it.
playing hide and seek or something.
All right.
Small.